Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
My name is Donna Woods. I'm calling from Lithonia, Georgia, which is like 15 minutes from Atlanta.
Oh, wow. Congratulations for being there. Um, so can we go ahead and talk business basically? I want to talk about your past leading up into your present.
Well, I started writing books probably when I was a very young girl. And, you start something, write it, lose it, it's gone. You start back again, and it just seems like you're never going to take the time to write. So in 2007, I decided I'm going to take the time to write. And I sat down and I started writing a series of books based on demon hunters and all that, because fantasy is a big thing for me. So I love fantasy. And so I started writing these novels, and I wrote three of them. And then I said, oh, well, this is going kind of well. I guess we need to stay on this track. And I started writing some other stuff. Well, to get from writing to actually being published is a lot. There's a lot that has to happen. Initially, I did the route as everybody else. I queried agents and asked for, hey, please pick me up, please, please, please. And nobody was listening to me. So I self-published the first book. The books did pretty well, but they weren't getting the exposure that they would have gotten had I went the agency route, the publisher route. So, but I did get a bunch of people responding saying to me, hey, this book reads like a TV series. You should try to make it into a TV series. Well, I did not have experience as a TV script writer. So I did the very next best thing is I went and took some classes so that if I can author a book, I can definitely learn to put it in a format for a show. Which I did. It took me about a year to learn all of that. And then I wrote a pilot for the book. And then that started that whole thing of trying to get somebody to pick it up, trying to get somebody to do something with it. And didn't happen for me like I wanted. So I used my own money, filmed my own pilot, cooked up with this company called the Fantasy Network. That's all they show on their channel. There's a streaming channel, and that's all they show is fantasy. So my concept version of my show ran on the Fantasy Network for about 6 months. It picked up a good little following. And I got reached out to by a new streaming company saying, hey, this is a great show. We like to get you, on board with us, but we got to have you take everything down first. And I went, after all this money, take it down. So I did that, waiting to see what would happen. And so in between that, I went to a book conference where they had agents and publishers. And my friend said, you got to go to this. And I was like, why? It doesn't work that way. I haven't seen it work that way for me. So I went anyway, reluctantly. And they were having a pitch fest where you could pitch to an agent. So I signed my name on, sat down, pitched to this agent, and she said, I want to sign you right now. I want to sign you right now. I love your story. This is great. And I just was blown away. Like, okay. And I mean, in a couple of months, we put the book out. The book came out October 31st. And it's doing really well on Amazon. And so then we get the approval for the TV series. And that now has taken on its own life as well. So at this point, I'm trying to get all of my financing and stuff done for the TV series, which we're, proposed to start filming in August of next year. So I'm sort of really busy. I got a lot going on, but it's everything I ever hoped or wished to have.
Wow, I read so much about you, and I see that you did a lot, and you wear many different hats, and I commend you on all of your talents and everything that you ever accomplished. My next question to you is, how was it making your first film?
Chaotic. Just because I had a couple of friends that had been in the production industry, so I pulled from their knowledge a lot. But I've been a manager for years. That's what my background is corporate management, and film really isn't any different if you're doing the showrunner or director role. You're sort of moving everybody around. This is what needs to happen. This is the timing. So while it was very chaotic, I learned a lot about how it is supposed to work versus how that was working. So
Tell me.
with me learning all of that, it's great now because not only did we get picked up as a show, but we got picked up as a production company. So now my little 5-man thing has to now be 52 people on set. So because I've
And it's
learned.
not many black women that are producers and screenwriters for pop. No, that rarely happens. So you're working and you're grinding. I know it.
Right. And I'm just trying to make sure it's all as perfect as I can get it. Just because, you never know. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for me as a Black female, but it's also a huge opportunity for my production company, which was just 5 people at one point. So now this is like huge. So I have to keep switching hats between showrunner and book author.
Can you tell me more about your favorite class in theology where you got a degree in theology?
hmm I went to theology school in a pagan based seminary, and everybody always says, "What does that mean?" What it means is that I studied all religions, not just.
I love
I,
it.
I didn't go to be a Christian preacher. You know what I mean? So I went to learn everything, which, because I write fantasy, a lot of what I write is based in scriptures or mythology or something. So in order for you to be able to write in those genres, you need to at least know the inner workings of why it is. So that degree has helped me tremendously. Even in the books, there's things in a book and you're going, could that be true? I don't know, but it's because I'm pulling from a lot of history and a lot of things that just depend on what religion you are, if you believe it or you don't.
And it's funny, I have to talk and about what you just said and say to myself, okay, you got, I didn't even know what theology meant. I'm just being honest, and I don't mean to mess up your feed, but the purpose in this is that you explain to me in under 10 seconds what it meant. And
Right.
that is the study of different religions.
Right.
That is an awesome major because you got religions that people don't know. You got people like the Pope that gets to read different scriptures that only he and the certain elite can read.
Mhm.
So that leads me to questioning, if there's so much secrecy, what is the secrecy for? But that's not the question I have to ask you. The question I have to ask you is, if you wanted to give a piece of advice to an entrepreneur out there that it wants to be just in your shoes, what would it be?
Well, you said what it is. First you learn, then you grind.
I
I mean,
like it.
it's very simple. You learn
I
it.
like you because you say stuff in short sentences, but it makes it powerful. Those are good writers. Um, what else? So where do you see yourself going for the future?
Well, I mean, at this point, I need to get through season 1 of my show. I need to get the rest of the other 2 books to the book that's out right now published, because I got to keep my readers in front of the show versus They see the show, then now they're going back to read it. I like to have it in a sequence. Let you read it first and then say, oh, that's the way I seen it in my head in the book, right? So I'm just looking to, keep growing, keep learning, and just keep doing this out here, as long as I can do it.
You have like the mindset of somebody that's going to be like another woman version of Tyler Perry, seeing as though he's very intelligent. You're making these production shows. You have season 1 coming up. Just like when they had Medea, he had all those episodes of his scripted plays on
Mm-hmm.
camera. And I used to watch all of them very faithfully. And now it's like he has his own farm, he has his own production company, like land, like wow, miles of it,
Right.
and I see something like that happening for you, like seriously. I
Well,
hope it
I'll
happens
take
for
that.
you.
I'll take that.
um how can do you have anything? You have the floor for 2 minutes. Do you have any, or however long you say, any piece of advice from anybody out there that needs to hear what you have to say? You have the floor for 2 minutes to talk.
Well, I would tell anybody that, I mean, I'm not young. I'm 58 years old now. And what has
You look
happened
good.
over my life, I've been, start, stop, start, stop, And the thing is that people have to have belief in themselves. You got to believe in yourself that you can do this no matter what everybody else is saying, because there's always somebody sitting there saying, I don't think you should do that. You should. Oh, those people right there. I always say there's the 9 to 5 people, and there's the people that are the creatives. That's the word. We're creative. You never want to be in a box. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. And this is what I can do. I feel like everybody's born with certain gifts, and it's speaking to you in your head. You just got to say, I'm going to go for it. Because as long as you keep hearing it in your head and you don't do anything about it, you wake up one day and you are dead. You have no more time. So time is not promised to anybody. And so you should go for everything you want in life and be grateful for everything you get.
It was meant for us to talk today. So how can people like reach you, like before you say that, I don't, it's still at 13 minutes, so I don't want to cut off your feed early, so I'll just edit this part out. But it's so many questions I want to ask you. Like for instance, asked you about theology. I asked you about your first time at production. And can you tell me more about what the production is going to look like for season 1 of your episode?
Well, yeah. I mean, the story is about a family of Creole demon huntresses. They're all female. What is going on is that their family was blessed by the gods to be able to see these demons the way that they look for real, even though the human eye can only see them as these beautiful, gorgeous women. So the deal
Love it.
so the deal is that these demons are hanging out in clubs, uh, strip clubs. They everywhere. Anywhere somebody beautiful and fabulous would be, that's where they're hanging out at. So our huntresses have to come into these places and sort of put themselves in the mix of what's happening. So say for instance, a guy, he's in a strip club and he's throwing money at these demons, but he don't know that they're demons. But she can see that they're demons. So she has to come over and sort of invite herself to go to the after party with them so that she can keep him from getting killed. So the thing is that the demons, when they're taking souls from these men, they're doing it while they're having sex with them. So they ask them, is it mine? Of course, a man's going to say, yeah, baby, it's yours, it's yours, it's yours. But he's actually giving up his soul. So if she's not in
Wow,
the
I
building,
never knew that. That is crazy. I never thought that, because I think we can all admit that we all have said that. Even men say it. But now that we are aware, I'm never saying that crap again.
Yeah, so people who were reading the book, that's the first thing they said was, "Are these things real? Are these things real?" Because guys, that my little nephew, he just thought, "Oh, this is crazy. I'm in the club picking up girls. How do I know? How do I know?" I said, "You don't know. That's the whole point." But the story, how it's being played out on the screen, is that they're always there to stop the transfer of the soul from the man to the demon by sending the demon back to hell. So it's got a lot of special effects in it, a bunch of CGI stuff going on, so that you're like, oh no, so it's going to be a great show. I mean, I'm just my words. If you reading it in my head, I can imagine all kind of things happening. But being able to put it on the screen, I mean, the sky's the limit of stuff I can do now outside of the book. But it is going to show the love between the family. Again, they do something that's saving mankind, whereas they can barely have a life of their own because they're always out there trying to stop some man from getting with these things.
That is cool. And you ended, and I was about to just listen the whole time. Oh my God, you keep the audience wanting more. You're a pro. So now this ends the segment. So how can the people reach you if they need to contact you?
Well, we have a website for Crimson Pearl Media, which is the name of our production company. That is just like it is. It's www.crimsonpearlmedia.com, and that lets you see what we're up to. Me as a writer, you can go to www.writerdonnawoods.com, and you can see what I'm doing on the book side.
Thank you so much. Stay on the line. Thank you all for joining my show. You take care, be safe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.